Hey you guys, it's been a long time since I've done a video. Epiphany came to me when I was doing my hair. So sometimes I just like to hang out in my room. I'm gonna put this up against my lamp so you might see some flowers and stuff because this is my lamp. I got flowers and stuff in it. Okay, so basically the epiphany came to me. Okay, so I was doing my hair. And I was kind of getting frustrated a little bit because it wasn't turning out quite like I wanted. So I just kept, feeling with it. And then I just stopped. And something told me it was just like, ask for help. So everybody has their own spiritual guides and beings and help aids. So I stopped and I said, you know what, Spirit? I'm really trying to, get this hairstyle the way I want. I really need your assistance to help me. So, they gave me the idea of the hairstyle. But then I proceeded to try to do the hairstyle myself. I kept trying to, do it. And it wouldn't turn out. And I was getting agitated again. So then I had to say, you know what? Spirit, please assist me with, braiding this hair the way I want. And it turned out the way I want. So the lesson tonight is never be afraid to ask for help. Sometimes we, as human beings, we're so used to putting ourselves into the situation and we're so busy doing it ourselves that we fail to ask God, Spirit, angels, divine sources for help. We think we know which way to go, so we don't ask for direction. That's just like any woman, because you know what they say about us women. We don't like to ask. No, actually they say it's about men. They don't like to ask for directions. But we women, we don't like to take directions. See, we have to always look at the 360 of any situation. Women might not like to take direction. Men don't like to ask for direction. So I guess me not asking for direction is my manly side, my masculine energy, being on the forefront when it comes to that. I'm starting to learn a little bit more to commune with my spirits, ask questions, ask for directions, ask for guidance, and every little thing. I mean, I know to other people that sounds dumb, you're asking your divine beings to help you with your hair. Of course. It's called co-creation. We're not just creating and manifesting by ourselves. I don't know what delusion humans got that they're like doing it all by ourselves, but we as humans, we tend to forget that we're not in this by ourselves. If we take time out and just say, I need a little help. I need a little guidance. I need a little assistance. They're always there for us. Sometimes when we're doing it the hard way, they just sit back and look at us and wonder, like, when they gonna stop long enough to realize that they're not alone. Sometimes we get frustrated and why am I going through this and why is my life so hard? Trust and believe. I done got attacked. Ooh-wee. This week I have been attacked by dreams. I've been attacked by spirits. I've had a blockage in my dreams happen recently. Then the dream that I actually had come through was like telling me, like giving me this negative energy about, polluted waters and tainted spirits, all kinds of foolishness. And I'm not saying that it's not a warning, but what I am saying is that sometimes demons can hunt your dreams too, especially if you already put it out there that you're a dreamer and you can read dreams. The first thing they're going to do is attack your dreams. Why? Because they're trying to prevent you from doing what you're trying to do. So I've come to learn that you have to pray over yourself constantly, cease to seek God constantly in all things, including doing your hair. I know that sounds silly, but it's the truth. Like, sometimes I'll be cooking and my food don't be like it ain't doing something. Something's missing from it. Well, a lot of people think that cooking is about recipes. It's not about recipes. Recipes is not about, that's what makes the food good. What makes the food good is spirit. Love. That is what makes the food good. So whenever I'm having problems with my heart chakra or problems with my spirit, when I'm cooking, I say, Lord, come with me now, commune with me now. I need help, making this food. Let this food be a healing to my family. Let this food be a healing to our spirit. And that's exactly what happens. A lot of people don't know this, but whatever you're feeling when you cook, it actually goes into your food. I don't know if anybody's experienced. If I'm upset and I'm crying, that food will be bitter. Bitter is all outdoors. When I saw him out salty, it will be salty. But if I'm in a good mood, the spirit is in the food, and you know, people have actually eaten my food and start crying emotionally happiness because of the fact that I love that hard. That's what I do. I love. That's one of my gifting. I know a lot of people, you know, my gifting is clairvoyance. You know, I can't say it's not that, but I know one of my gifting is love and nurturing, because I think I love and nurture so hard that I've actually been told I'm too motherly. It's like, you're motherly, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, but you know, that is one of my things that I love to do. When I see a child crying, and I'm not just talking about children, I'm talking about adult children, and I see the stress and the pain in their face, I get emotional because I feel like they're my children. Now, I don't know why I feel like they're my children. I think it's because I probably resonate with Yamaya, or well, you know, the African version of name of her is Yamoja. So I probably resonate with her a little bit, but so that's probably why I feel like that. But it's like when I see these children crying about their children and, you know, their problematic lives, and, you know, and I just be like, you know, I redirect them. I say, you know, no, sister, brother, you got to do this and this and that, you know. Like, I met a Gemini today, and he was like, oh, you know, I'm a Gemini, so that means you got to watch what you say to me. I said, no, that means that you have a power of protection. You are made to protect the weaker people, a person that's weaker than you. And you're not supposed to allow that people to agitate your spirit and cause you to use that protection spirit that was blessed upon you to destroy because someone said something to you. You have to be emotionally in control of yourself. Mastering oneself is the greatest power anyone's going to ever have. I keep saying this. I say this a lot because I think I say it mostly for myself, because I don't always master myself. I am an emotional roller coaster. I am up, I am down, I'm sideways, I'm to the left, I'm just all over the place. But I am learning daily to be humble, one, because that's humility is something we all must master. You have to be humble. I mean, because even with giftings, you can get, I know I'm going off subject, so, you know, sometimes I just go with the spirit and I just go. And it might be something we need to hear, so I'm going to say it. Sometimes we need to learn to be humble. We get these giftings and we forget that, you know, to be humble. So God will be like, okay, you got it. And, you know, they're going to let you run with it, brag about. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm speaking from experience, honey. I done did this. I learned this earlier in my journey. So I'm big pimping. I'm bragging. Yeah, I got this and I'm doing that. And I'm about to do this and this and that. And the job I was doing all this acting up on, I lost. I lost the car. I lost all that. Now, I chalked it up to just me being illness, but never once in my mind did I ever think it was because my butt was not being humble. Because I was cocky. You know what I'm saying? I had got to the point, I used to be a person, when I first got my car, first got my job, I was helping people, I was giving people rides, and, you know, yeah, girl, God is good, and, you know, filled with the Holy Spirit, just being a blessing to people. I got so caught up into myself, I stopped doing all of that. I was cocky. You better not mess with me, because my spirits would jack you up. All kinds of foolishness. When I lost everything, the job, the car, all of that, I got back into my spiritual self. I started realizing how much of myself I had lost holding on to these worldly things. Now, don't get me wrong, sweet sisters and brothers. I need me a car. Walking is not the easiest thing to do, boo-boo. And carrying a bag, That ain't no easy thing to do too. But then I remember there was a young lady walking in the rain carrying her bags, and I felt to stop to pick her up. So that humility that's in me now is a lesson learned. Trust and believe. You never forget where you came from, how God brought you out, and that you can be there again. Never ever once think that once you have been delivered from your persecution, that he won't put you back in that position to remind you that he's the one that brought you out of the persecution in the beginning. And see, some of us as humans, we do this. We forget that our giftings are from God. It ain't about you. It ain't going to ever be about you. You can make it about you. Shine on, sweet sisters and brothers, shine on. I don't ever stop on nobody shine, but I will tell you this, never forget to be humble. Never forget to be humble. That would be the biggest mistake. I'm telling you from experience. Be mindful. Always be mindful. Master yourself. Master who you are as a person. I know it's easier said than done, because me as a person, it's hard for me to master myself. Sometimes I get beside myself and I have to be like, Lord, redirect me, get me back on the right path, because I'm falling a little bit on the wayside here. I need some direction. I need some guidance. I need some light. And that's when it goes back to the beginning of this video when I said, ask for help. Some of us, we have so much pride. Our pride is so bad to the point we think we better than others. We don't want nobody's help. We put on these shows for people so they won't know that we going through stuff, because the idea of someone knowing that we're actually going through something, we don't want nobody to know that. So we try to keep up appearances, buying stuff we can't afford just so everybody else can think we got it so good. Sometimes that stuff is dumb. It's dumb and irrelevant, because in the end, you can't carry none of that stuff with you. That's one. And two, baby, you stressed out and looking old in the face while I'm looking young and young and strong like a chicken. Now, like a young chicken. That's what I'm looking like. You know, I'm not stressed out in the face because I learned my lesson. I learned it quick. I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't want to be stressed out. I don't want to be lacking. Praise God. I don't want to be without. You know, I learned that real quick. One thing about God, he ain't got to take everything away from me for me to understand what's going on, baby. Once God start taking just a little bit of stuff away, I start questioning, honey, what it is that I done done. Matter of fact, at first I was still in my pride. I was like, you know what? This is just a little setback. I'm gonna be all right. But this setback been for like almost 2 years. I ain't gonna even lie, y'all. Like, it's been a 2-year battle. I've been praying and praying and praying. I'm like, well, God, you know, why are you punishing me when everybody else do bad stuff? You always punish me twice as hard. You know what? Do you know why I'm getting punished twice as hard? Because he knows I know better. That's why. I had to get that revelation for myself. I complained to God, like, why are you punishing me twice as hard? Because he's looking at me like, because you know better. Yes, they did what they did. But what did I tell you? That's the same thing when he punished Adam and Eve in the garden. He said, Adam, I know Eve did what the heck she did. But why did you do it when I told you first? You should have been redirecting Eve instead of following behind her. You should have been redirecting her, saying, you know what, Eve? I ain't trying to be funny tonight, but I can't go there with you because God had already told me that this ain't good. And it ain't going to end good for you, and you ain't dragging me down there. But did he do that? No, he followed along. So therefore, he became also persecuted. That's how it is, baby. We all can get persecuted for following along. You know, I followed along the crowd, so what happened? I got persecuted. That's what happened. So I had to learn that lesson. That was a tough lesson. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm still going through it a little bit, but the veil is about to be lifted. I learned my lesson. I renewed my wings. I'm getting back focused on my spiritual path. I'm getting back focused on my spiritual craft. Some of that stuff, all of that stuff on me. I won't lie to you about all that stuff on me. Some of that, I'm saying my part in it, because sometimes choices can cause you to be in low vibrational spiritualism. Sorry, I get tongue tied a little bit. Which causes other spirits to attach to you while you're at your low vibrational point, which causes more problems in your life. So Ignorance begets ignorance. Sickness begets sickness. So on, so on, and so on. And so, make a long story short, I basically allowed myself to be in a low vibrational point of mind where spirits was allowed to attach itself to me. I brought envy to myself. I brought evil eye to myself. I brought persecution upon myself. And I had to fight my way out of it. The process, but I do not complain. Let me tell you why. In the process of fighting this off of me, I learned to have stronger faith. I learned to be humble. I learned patience. And I learned to not forget where I came from. And that's totally dope. Yes, is it about hard? Yes. But in the process, the lessons that I learned is more greater than the situation that I went through. And I know that sounds crazy to some people, but honey, sometimes things work out for your greater good. Even the bad stuff that you think is the worst thing that could possibly happen to you in your life could work out for your greater good. So always remember, be mindful, be humble, be honest, be kind. You have a nice night. Bye.